Hey guys, Quigon Quasar here, back again with another Mass Effect Andromeda video, and in this video I'm going to be giving you a rundown and giving you a run through of all of the changes made to Mass Effect Andromeda's multiplayer in the recent patch, the 1.06 patch. I'm going to be giving you a multiplayer summary. I'm not going to be reading you, every single, the slight change, because there is a lot of changes that have been added to the game, into the single player, to the multiplayer as well. But I'm going to give you, like a summary, like the main points, prioritize it a little bit. I will be leaving the link in the description of all of the changes. There's tons of them, like dozens of them. I'll leave a list of every single one of them, straight to BioWare's website, straight to the Mass Effect website in the link, in the description of this video, so go check that out if you want all of the details. But first and foremost, the biggest change to the game so far is they have improved multiplayer server quality, which means they've reduced the lag massively. Now, I've played a couple of games of this just to see if it works, like if they've actually done it, and it does. Like, I have not noticed any lag. They've changed it a lot from what I can tell. They've improved the lag massively, which is awesome. It's a big problem that a lot of you guys have been talking about in the comments of my videos, saying how much you hate it, and I agree with you. It was terrible, but the fact that they've fixed it now is awesome. They've also announced a brand new character. I don't know when they're releasing it. They just said that they're releasing it soon. They're actually doing a live stream of it the day after I'm recording this video. It's a new character called the Turian Agent. It's a multiplayer character, and it sounds really cool. Turian Agent sounds kind of like sort of like a special forces. It's not like a soldier. It's going to be like a special forces type character. Might have some cool and sort of unique and diverse powers. Sounds very cool. Sounds very awesome. Definitely check out the live stream that BioWare has announced. I believe they're doing it on Twitch. Check their Twitch out, or check their website out. If you follow the link that I said I'd leave in the description, you'll be able to find out more about it there. But it's really cool that they've announced yet another new character. So, so close to the, it's only been like a month and a half or 2 months since the release of the game, so it's awesome that they've, released another one, or they're going to release another one. They've also increased the base damage of all the powers as well, made the damage, like the powers do a lot more damage. Basically, it's everyone, it's not just one, it's not just two, it is every single one, so any of my powers now all do more damage. They have a higher base damage, and this is for every single character, and it does not matter how many skill points you've put into a certain, a certain power, a certain ability. They will all do more damage no matter how many skill points you've put into them now, because they found that they weren't doing a lot of damage, especially on silver and gold, on the high waves on silver and gold. They've also increased the base damage for several underperforming assault rifles, pistols, and shotguns to make them more effective. A lot of the assault rifles just sucked so badly. A lot of you guys said in the comments that, you agreed with that. Agreed with me, because I've said in a couple of videos how bad the assault rifles are. A lot of them sucked. A lot of the shotguns sucked as well. And some of the pistols were really bad as well. They've improved all of them. They said that there was too much focus being put on sniper rifles. They haven't really, nerfed many sniper rifles. They have nerfed the big one. I'll get to that a little bit later on. But they've put more focus on sort of strengthening the shotguns and the assault rifles and some pistols. And the gun that I'm using now, the N7 Crusader, is actually one of the weapons that they've strengthened. I think it had like a 400, 500 damage before. It's got like an 800 damage now. It's really good now, actually. It is really good. I believe they've changed the reticule of it as well. They didn't mention that in the patch notes, but one thing I've just noticed is the reticule seems to be a different shape. As far as I can tell, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I haven't played enough with this gun, because it did suck quite a lot before. It wasn't very good before. So maybe it's just that I haven't played a lot with this gun. But they do seem to have changed the reticule. I don't know if that's going to, apply to all of the other shotguns in the game as well. They've also given combo detonations, so like power detonations, tech detonations. So like if you use like a certain tech powers or certain biotic powers in tandem, to create like a big explosion, like a biotic explosion, kind of like a super combine. For anyone that doesn't know, they've been given a damage buff. They do more damage now, which is awesome, because they always looked like they did a lot of damage, but they didn't actually do a lot of damage. It was like a big explosion, and they never actually really did much damage. It was really cool that they have increased the damage of that. They've also reduced the damage of the Vanquisher sniper. That's the thing that I was talking about before, the big sniper. One of the most popular guns in the game, and one of the most, I think the BioWare actually said that from their data, they said that the Vanquisher is the most popular weapon to use in multiplayer. That's how good it was. They've nerfed it massively. They wanted to make it more comparable to other weapons. They didn't want it to be like the god weapon, the go-to weapon that everyone goes for, as soon as they unlock it. And it was really good. It was amazing. So I think it's good that they nerfed it. I know a lot of people might get annoyed at that, but it's fair enough, as long as you've strengthened some of the other weapons, which they have. They've strengthened a lot of other weapons. If you follow the link that I'll leave in the description, like I said before, you will see how many weapons they have increased the damage of and strengthened. It is incredible, it's insane. And so it's fair enough that they've sort of nerfed the Vanquisher a little bit, because it was like a freaking goddamn god weapon. They've also said that they will continue to consider potential adjustments for the future for all of the weapons. So this isn't just like a one-time, you know, change to the weapons. They have said that they're gonna change more weapons in the future. And if enough people say, oh, you know, we hate this weapon, or we hate those weapons, or we hate, you know, shotguns, you know, the shotguns have gone bad and crap again, then they will, they've said that they'll consider that, and they'll consider tweaking it in the future, which is also very, very cool of them. They've also weakened the Ket. They've made the entire Ket faction weaker to fight. They've weakened every single kind of enemy that the Ket faction contains, which is cool, because they were sort of like, again, like the god faction. Very difficult to fight compared to the others, especially the Outlaws. They've also strengthened the Outlaws. They've strengthened pretty much every enemy type in the Outlaw faction, which is the faction that I am fighting against now, the one that's got like the Angarans and the humans, you know, the kind of the rebels, the Outlaws. They've strengthened those, and strengthened a lot of their shield, you know, strengths and health amounts, and made like the Hydras a lot more dangerous and a lot more powerful, which is awesome, because the Hydras, once you get, you know, some of the better weapons in the game, you know, or you know, just have enough Cobra missiles, the Hydras aren't that difficult to kill. They're really not that difficult to kill. They become, you know, kind of like cannon fodder. At least they're not a lot like the you know, the crazy, terrible, terrifying bosses that they're supposed to be, but now they are. They've increased the damage of them, the damage they do, and increased the toughness. Again, if you want the full breakdown of all the stats and specs that they've improved, just go check the link out in the description. They've also fixed an issue where the Fiend, which is the boss of the Ket faction, like the big freaking gorilla, space gorilla thing, they've fixed an issue where that would teleport around. If you've watched some of my other videos, my Road to Max rank videos with the Turan Havoc Trooper, that thing screwed me so many times, especially on this map. He would like sort of teleport around. It was to do with like the ping, the latency, the multiplayer latency. It'd sort of ping around the map, so that the Fiend would be up there, I'd be like shooting at it down here, and then it would just ping right in front of me and one hit me, like one punch and take me out, which was really annoying. And that annoyed me a lot, as you'll know if you've seen those videos where it absolutely wrecked me with that bug. But they fixed that. They've fixed that bug. They've also fixed a bug that made silver and gold difficulties use normal stats for the enemies. So like in terms of normal stats, they mean like shield strength stats for the enemies. They were using like the normal stats, not like the increased ones that they should be. Obviously the health amounts and the shield amounts, the toughness of enemies should be increased on silver and then increased even more on gold. They have done that though. They fixed that issue where it wasn't like they weren't higher than normal. They were just the same as normal, I guess, in some circumstances. They fixed that issue, which is also awesome. They've also tweaked the equipment, like the equipment upgrades that I've done a few videos on, you know, like the adaptive war amp and the engineering kit. They've made the adaptive war amp increase damage, I believe that's biotic damage, increases the biotic damage dealt from 15%. It used to be 15%. I actually recorded a video of it like the day before this. It used to do 15% extra damage for all biotics. Now it does 30% extra damage for all biotics. Biotic, you know, fans of biotic characters will really be happy about that. I know I am. They've increased the engineering kit in the same manner, which makes like all tech powers do more damage. And the damage bonus that it used to do was 15% extra. Now it's 30% extra. They've done the same with enhanced munitions. I'm not sure what that does, but I assume that does more damage with weapons, maybe, or I'm not sure what that does. I haven't unlocked that equipment upgrade. Let me know if you guys know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you guys know what that does. But they've done the same with that. They've increased it from 15% to 30%. They've also added in the graphics options of the game an option to turn off motion blur and an option to turn off depth of field. That's pretty damn important. Not that important for, you know, console users, but pretty damn important for, you know, people with the sort of low-end PCs, or at least like PCs that can struggle running Mass Effect Andromeda. Because if you turn motion blur off and depth of field, it will likely improve your frame rate a little bit. And it might even improve the frame rate by a tiny margin on Xbox One and PS4. I know there has been some frame rate issues on Xbox One and PS4. Even in my videos, you guys, if you've seen enough of my videos, you will see that sometimes the frames start chugging along at times. Turning motion blur and depth of field off would probably help with that slightly. Not a great deal, but it might help with it. slightly, or it will help with it slightly. It will help with it, and I haven't noticed any of those frame rate issues since I've turned them off. I've turned motion blur and depth of field off, so the footage they're seeing right now is without both of those on. I prefer it. I don't like motion blur. I feel like it makes it harder to aim with. I do not like motion blur. I don't really mind depth of field that much, but I just turn it off for the sake of it because it's not that big of a deal. I don't, fire up the game and think, oh, I can't wait to see the motion blur or the depth of field. So I just turn both of them off. I figured, it's not going to do any harm having a slightly better or slightly more improved frame rate. So, I just turned them both off. Now, that's it for sort of the summarized points. There is a lot of details that I've sort of left out because it's like, this gun does 10% extra damage. There's tons. There's so many details. If I included them all, it would be probably like, honestly, I'm not joking, it would probably be about 25, 35 minutes. And I don't want you guys to just sit there listening to me talk for 25 to 35 minutes, just reading off of a piece of paper or, well, off of my laptop, reading all the patch notes. I've prioritized and told you the most important thing and sort of summarized it. Instead of saying what the damage buff that every weapon has received, I just summarized and said, most weapons have been improved, especially the assault rifles and the shotguns. But like I said, the link will be in the description if you want to go and check out the full patch notes, complete full patch notes. I will also be doing a general patch notes video. As I said before, this is a multiplayer summary, so this is all the changes made to multiplayer and all the changes that affect multiplayer. I will be doing one that all of the other patch notes that are more based around the single player aspect of it as well. We'll be doing a video on that, so definitely keep a lookout for that. Probably very shortly after this video. I'll probably record it right now after I'm finished with this video. So look out for that if you're a fan of the campaign and you play a lot of the single player and want to know, what tweaks they've made to it. There are a lot of really cool ones as far as I can tell. I had a quick glance over it. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed or found it useful. If you did, please leave me a like. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. If you want to see any more of my videos, definitely stick around and subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you all in the next video.